Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Hello, everyone.
Today we're embarking on a really captivating journey, I think. It weaves together history, culture, and just an astonishing level of craftsmanship.
hmm
We're venturing into the rich world of Persian and Oriental carpets, specifically zooming in on the unique artistry of Kashmar rugs.
A fascinating corner of that world.
Absolutely. And to help us navigate this, we've got a stack of diverse sources, everything from profiles of local businesses that connect us to this ancient craft today to really detailed historical accounts of rug weaving stretching back centuries.
Yeah, quite a mix.
So, okay, let's unpack this. Our mission, like always, is to sift through all that info, find those nuggets of knowledge, the surprising bits, so you can get really well informed about this incredible art form. It's full of connections you might not expect.
And what's fascinating here is how something so, tangible, a rug, can actually tell these grand stories. Stories spanning centuries, showing cultural shifts, showcasing this incredible human artistry.
Right.
This deep dive isn't just about, pretty things on the floor. It's about connecting the global business side with these ancient traditions, the nomadic tribes, the master workshops that create them. And by focusing on Kashmar, this highly prized style, we can really illuminate those bigger narratives. History, art, heritage, it's all there.
Exactly. Let's get into it. So to kind of anchor our journey, let's start with something tangible right here in the modern world. A family business that acts as a fantastic bridge to this ancient craft.
A living connection.
Yeah, we're talking about Bobak's Oriental Carpets. They're in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. This place opened back in August 1994, and it really gives us a great lens to look at the whole world of Oriental rugs. They're committed to showing just a huge variety of unique hand-knotted pieces.
Right. And when we talk about Oriental carpets, that's a really broad term, isn't it?
It is.
But Bobak's focuses specifically on Persian and Oriental carpets.
Yeah.
And that distinction, it's not just words, it signals a focus on pieces known globally for their beauty, their quality, the whole package. Right. And the key thing, the sources really stress this, is that their carpets are elegantly hand-knotted by nomadic tribes or master workshops.
Hand-knotted, that's crucial.
It really is. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it tells you straight away, this is more than just selling things. It's about preserving heritage.
Yeah.
It's about skills passed down, real human artistry in every single piece. It's that commitment to authenticity, to tradition, that really defines them. Buying something there is almost like supporting cultural history.
I like that framing. And that focus on authenticity, it really shines through in the services they offer, too.
Yeah.
It's not just retail.
No, far from it.
They offer this whole suite of services that really speaks to how valuable these items are. Investments, really.
Absolutely.
Think about it. Worldwide, shipping these things travel. Then there's carpet repair and cleaning, essential for keeping these artworks going for generations.
You need specialists for that.
Exactly. Plus, appraisal services, a trade-in counter if you're looking to change your collection.
Yeah.
And it's great, information sheets on all the carpets. Transparency.
That's so important, knowing the story.
Totally. And for local folks, free shipping over a certain amount, free delivery sometimes, and even trials at no obligation. You can actually see how it looks in your home first.
That's confidence in their pieces.
It really shows it's more than just a shop. It's like a full curatorial approach.
And you can only offer that level of service if you have real expertise behind you.
Right. Who are the people involved?
Well, the sources introduce us to Dr. Hushang Rizwani first. He built this really honorable reputation over 35 years in Graz, Austria, deeply involved in the business there.
Wow, 35 years.
Yeah, then he brought all that knowledge, that experience over to Victoria and Vancouver Island. He's like the foundation,
A legacy.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's Babak Rizwani, his son. He's the current owner, running the showroom on Fort Street. And Babak, he grew up in this business literally his whole life, surrounded by these carpets, so his knowledge is just vast. Encyclopedic, really, especially about Persian pieces.
Makes sense.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Babak isn't just about selling. He's dedicated to the study of Oriental carpets.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and he apparently takes real pleasure in sharing what he knows, the history, the hand-knotting techniques, the investment side, what makes quality. He explains it all.
So the store is like a classroom, too.
Exactly. It transforms it from just a retail space into this hub of expertise, a place you can actually learn. It's a genuine gateway for anyone wanting to really understand these pieces.
It sounds less like a store and more like, a living archive. Every rug has a story, and there's someone there who actually knows how to read it.
Well,
So, for anyone listening who might be near Victoria or just curious, the address is 900 Fort Street, Victoria, BC, Canada. We'll have the phone, email, text number, and all their hours. Monsat 10 to 5.30, Sun 12 to 4, and our show notes online. Makes it easy to connect if you want to see them yourself.
good idea. Seeing them in person is a whole different experience.
Okay, so we've seen this modern gateway, the box. Now let's dive deep, really focus on one specific, incredibly rich category. Kashmar rugs.
Right into the heart of it.
This is where the history and the artistry just get so layered. So what is it about Kashmar rugs that makes them so special? Why should you care about a rug from a city you might, not have heard of before?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Yeah, we're about to unpack the history, the unique artistic touches that make these things so prized.
Well, to get Kashmar rugs, you first need to get Kashmar, the city.
Okay. Tell us about it.
Historically, it was called Turshiz.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the Razavi Khorassan province of Iran, about 230 kilometers from Mashad, which is a bigger, maybe more well-known city.
Right.
Its history is massive, mainly because of its location, smack dab on the ancient Silk Road.
The Silk Road. Always key.
Always. For centuries, Kashmar wasn't just a pit stop. It was a hub. Culture, trade, ideas, people from China, the Med, everywhere they all mixed there.
A real crossroads.
Exactly. And there's archaeology showing people lived there way back, like the 3rd millennium BC, deep roots.
Wow.
And woven right into the city's identity, and you actually see it in the rugs sometimes, is this legend about Zoroaster.
The prophet.
Yeah, the story goes he brought a cypress tree from paradise and planted it right there in Kashmar.
That's quite a founding myth.
It is. And that mixed trade, ancient history, spiritual legend, that's the backdrop for their weaving. Even today, it's still the 4th biggest carpet weaving center in Khorassan, after Mashad, Birjand, and the Raksh. Still significant.
That Silk Road location really explains how all these influences could just pull together there. So what about the early weaving itself? Did it start fancy?
Well, like a lot of traditional crafts, it started practical, nomadic roots. Sources say the first rugs were really for warmth, for shelter, made by nomadic tribes in the area. They used good wool from their own local sheep, known for being durable.
Makes sense.
But what's interesting is even those early utilitarian pieces often had pretty elaborate designs, so the artistry was there from the start,
An inherent desire for beauty.
Seems like it. Now, the modern weaving era, as we think of it, that seems to start around 1881 to 1901.
Okay, a specific period.
Yeah, and a name pops up, Muhammad Kermani. He's considered the first sort of master weaver in the Kashmar region.
Kermani, like Kerman, the other famous rug city.
Exactly. His name suggests he might have migrated from Kerman, bringing their refined techniques, maybe their designs, north to Kashmar.
So an infusion of new artistic DNA.
Potentially, yeah. A real turning point, introducing maybe a new level of sophistication.
Fascinating.
And this idea of individual masters changing things, it gets even clearer later. We hit what the sources call the Year of Transformation,
Which
1961. That's when Master Alipur arrived. His arrival caused a significant change, especially in Kashmar.
How so?
He didn't just continue traditions, he brought innovation, new designs, and crucially, he pushed for a higher knot density.
The knots again. How much higher?
Well, here's where it gets a bit tricky. One source mentions an increase up to 35-40 knots, but it says per square foot.
Per square foot. That sounds low for fine Persian rugs.
It does. Most other sources, and what's generally accepted for high-quality Kashmar, talk about high knot density, often exceeding 120 knots per square inch. Some even hit 300 knots per square inch and higher.
Per square inch. That makes more sense. Big difference.
Huge difference. So that per square foot figure might refer to an older, maybe coarser type, or just a different way of measuring back then. But the hallmark of fine Kashmar, especially after Alipur, is definitely that high density per inch.
Okay, so hundreds of knots per square inch.
Right. And that's what lets them create those incredibly intricate, detailed designs. It makes them beautiful and really durable. This raises an important question. How can one person, one master weaver, basically reshape an entire artistic tradition? Alipur clearly had that kind of impact, improving technique and steering the whole aesthetic.
That knot density clarification is really key. It shows the sheer labor and precision involved.
Absolutely. It's painstaking work.
And speaking of Alipur's innovations, he's often credited with introducing, or at least really popularizing, that iconic Zirhaki design.
Ah, yes, the Zirhaki, a true Kashmar signature.
What does the name mean?
Zirhaki literally means under the soil in Persian, or sometimes it's called bowl and vase in Khorassan.
Under the soil.
What?
Intriguing. What does it look like?
Well, it's unique because it often doesn't have borders or very minimal ones.
Oh, really? The whole surface?
Yeah, the design covers the whole rug, usually with columns, ancient-looking vases, old containers, a continuous tapestry.
Wow.
And what's amazing is it depicts historical scenes, stories from Persian mythology. The rug basically becomes a narrative.
Like a storybook you can walk on.
Kind of. You might see vases, bowls, everyday scenes, hunting scenes, the Tree of Life, even scenes from the Shahnameh, the epic poem.
So it's literally weaving Persian lore.
Exactly. It's a portable library. Visually, they usually have these striking red or navy backgrounds, gives them a really dramatic look.
That sounds incredible.
And Alipur even innovated the drawing process. He brought this method from Tabriz, where instead of coloring the design drawing, he'd just identify parts with numbers.
Numbers. Why?
Must have streamlined things for the weavers, made executing those super complex designs more efficient, more consistent, perhaps.
They're clever.
The evolution didn't start with Zirhaki, though. Kashmar designs kept changing, absorbing influences.
Right, you mentioned the Silk Road melting pot. What else came in?
Well, think back to the Safavid dynasty, 1501 to 1736. That was a golden age for all Persian arts.
Right, royal patronage.
Huge support. Led to new weaving techniques, new dyes, tons of new design motifs.
Yeah.
And you can still see that Safavid influence in Kashmar rugs today, centuries later.
Amazing continuity.
Then, fast forward to 1971. There was a period where they tried making rugs in the Kashan style.
Another famous style. How did that go?
Not so well, apparently. The sources say the quality wasn't quite up to the original Kashan standard, so they didn't really take off in the market.
Interesting. So copying wasn't enough.
Seems not. Quality and authenticity mattered. And maybe that experience led to what happened around 1981, a real return to authentic Khorassan designs.
Ah, back to their roots. Like what?
Things like various Afshan patterns. Those are the ones with continuous floral designs spreading all over, often no central medallion.
Right, like a garden.
Yeah. And Ladikhak Taran Shah Abbasi patterns, that's the classic medallion in the center, quarter medallions in the corners, often with those big stylized Shah Abbasi flowers you see in Mashad rugs.
Okay, more traditional layouts.
Exactly. And then by 1987, 9-style rugs got really popular across Khorasan, very successful commercially.
Like those are often very fine, right? Letter goers.
Generally, yes. Delicate, fine knotting.
Real.
And because they sold so well, a lot of Kashmar weavers started producing rugs in that style, too.
Market forces at play.
Definitely. What's fascinating here is how these regional influences, market trends, even, attempts that didn't quite work out, like the Kashan style, how they all shaped what Kashmar weavers produced. It shows the craft isn't static. It's tied to economics, culture.
It's a living tradition.
Precisely. And there were even older designs from before 1961, like Hassan Ghazi and Zarin Kolk, a whole library of patterns they could draw on.
That dynamic evolution is just captivating. It's not stuck in time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, let's shift to the physical stuff, the nuts and bolts, or maybe the wool and knots. What are Kashmar rugs actually made of?
Predominantly, it's high-quality wool, often sourced locally from sheep known for good fleece. That gives them durability and that nice feel.
And the foundation, the structure underneath.
That's typically cotton, the warp and weft threads that hold it all together. Cotton gives it strength, stability. Sometimes, but it's limited. You might see it more in the 9-style Kashmars where it fits that delicate look, or maybe just used sparingly to highlight certain details in a design. But wool is really the main story.
Okay, mostly wool on a cotton foundation. And the knot type. You mentioned Alipur increasing density.
Right. The knot type most commonly used is the asymmetrical knot, also called the Persian or Sena knot.
And why that knot?
It's all about the detail. The asymmetrical knot lets weavers create much finer lines, more intricate patterns, more flowing curves compared to the symmetrical or Turkish knot.
Ah, so it's better for those complex Zirhaki scenes.
Exactly. It allows for that level of precision needed to basically draw pictures with wool. It elevates it beyond just pattern to actual visual storytelling.
Makes sense. And the density, again, just to be clear, we're talking hundreds per square inch for the good ones.
Yes, definitely look for figures like exceeding 120 knots per square inch, often much higher, up to 300 or more for really fine pieces. That high density is key for the durability, the feel, and holding those intricate designs sharp and clear. It's a direct measure of the weaver's skill and time investment.
Incredible patience required. What about finishing? Does the weaver do everything?
Not always. The sources say the selvage, that finished edge along the sides, is often done after the main weaving is finished, maybe by specialists.
Okay.
And clipping the pile, which is crucial to reveal the pattern, that's always done post-weaving, usually in separate finishing workshops. They often use electric shears now for precision.
So a bit of a production line almost, a specialist for different stages?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It speaks to the level of refinement in the process, and they're all warp woven on a loom that's consistent, traditional structure.
And size. Are they typically big or small?
Definitely in the larger side. Kashmar weavers seem to focus on bigger rugs, think room-sized pieces.
Like statement pieces.
Exactly. Dimensions like, roughly 6.5 by 10 feet, 8 by 11.5 feet, even 10 by 13 feet or bigger. They seem less interested in making smaller scatter rugs. So they're really meant to be carpet-sized items anchoring a space.
Grand scale for grand designs. What about the colors? You mentioned red and navy for Zirhaki.
Right. That Kashmar red, sometimes called lakul golkari elsewhere, is quite distinctive. It's been used for ages, often described as a really vibrant, deep, warm red.
From natural dyes originally?
Traditionally, yes. They used local plants, madder root for reds, indigo for blues, other plants for ivories, greens, browns. Natural dyes give these really rich, deep colors that age beautifully, mellowing over time.
Right.
But the reality now, as the sources point out, is that synthetic dyes are widely used by Kashmar dyers.
Why the switch?
Easier to use, cheaper, more consistent color batch to batch. It's a practicality thing. While traditionalists might prefer the nuances of natural dyes, synthetics make production more feasible today.
That tension again, tradition versus modern practicality.
It's common in many crafts.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the design influences from Tabriz, Mashad, Nain, Kashan blending together.
Right, creating this unique mix.
But then you have those truly Kashmar elements, that cypress motif, directly linked to the Zoroaster legend.
Yes, highly significant, often a major part of the design, connecting it right back to the city's identity.
And the simurgh, the mythical bird unique to Kashmar animal designs.
Exactly. That's a real hallmark. If you see a simurgh depicted like that, chances are very high it's a Kashmar, not really found elsewhere in the same way.
So these designs aren't just pretty patterns. They're packed with meaning.
Absolutely. They function as a narrative medium. They're preserving and passing down Persian myths, legends, history, epic poems. It's all woven in.
Woven histories, cultural archives.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Kashmar rugs aren't just floor coverings. They are complex cultural documents telling stories through thread.
That idea of a woven history really changes how you look at them, doesn't it? Takes them way beyond just decoration.
It absolutely does.
So let's talk about now. What's the current situation for Kashmar rugs? For collectors, for people interested today?
Well, the sources paint a picture of, frankly, increasing rarity.
Oh, why's that?
The carpet industry in Kashmar itself has declined quite a bit. They mention only about 100 active craftsmen left now.
Only 100? Wow, that's not many.
No. So that scarcity alone makes Kashmar rugs, especially older ones in good condition, very rare and prized today.
Right. Rarity usually means value. Are they expensive?
They're described as fairly expensive, yes, but also generally well-made and very attractive.
Okay.
And there's an interesting note that they become particularly attractive after their brighter colors have had time to mellow.
So they age well, like fine wine.
Exactly. The beauty deepens, gets softer, more nuanced, speaks to the quality of the materials and dyes, even the synthetics, if done well. And specifically, those Zirhaki designs, they're pointed out as being good investments.
Good to know for potential buyers.
Definitely. It's not just about aesthetics. There's a potential financial aspect, too. And one more thing about value, while the style is often more famous than individual weavers,
Yeah?
the name of the weaver is actually often woven right into the rug, like a signature.
Really? A literal signature.
Yeah. Connecting the piece directly to the person who made it adds another layer of history, of provenance, a personal legacy in the fibers.
That's incredible. A signed piece of art.
Right.
So zooming out slightly back to Kashmar city itself, you mentioned the Silk Road connection.
Right. It's still a city of about 100,000 people, northeastern Iran, and that historical role as a cultural melting pot, thanks to the Silk Road, is key.
Crossroads effect.
Exactly. Different cultures, traditions, artistic ideas all met there and blended. And you see that fusion reflected in the rug designs.
Okay.
They absorbed things from all over. It's textile evidence of cultural exchange.
And sits within a whole region of famous weaving centers.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's part of a bigger ecosystem. The sources mention nearby Mashad, which is famous for its really high-quality Persian rugs, often with those intricate medallions.
Okay.
And Birjand, known for fine knotting. Nain, famous for delicate weaves, sometimes with silk. Tabriz, a huge center with diverse styles.
So they were all influencing each other.
Constantly. A dynamic exchange of ideas, techniques, designs. That's what creates the richness across all Persian carpets. No weaving center exists in a vacuum, you know? It's all part of a larger conversation.
Makes sense. And the climate there, you said it's desert?
Yeah, desert climate. Hot summers, cold winters, not much rain, pretty harsh.
But the city thrives.
It does, largely thanks to water from nearby mountains, sustains life, farming, and the craft itself. That resilience, you could say, is kind of mirrored in the rugs themselves. They endure.
A nice parallel. And for someone really captivated by all this, is Kashmar itself a place you could visit?
It seems so. For deeper exploration, it offers a real glimpse into Persian history and culture.
What's there to see, besides potentially finding workshops?
Well, there are historical sites nearby. Remnants of ancient Nishapur, a major old capital, mausoleums of famous figures, Ferdowsi, who wrote the Shahnameh.
The epic poem they weave into the rugs.
The very one.
Yeah.
And Omar Khayyam, the mathematician poet, and Attar, the mystic poet. So layers of history, literature, spirituality.
A rich cultural landscape.
Definitely. And beyond monuments, visiting local rug workshops, if you can arrange it, would be amazing. Seeing the process firsthand, the dyeing, the knotting, patterns emerging.
That would give you a whole new appreciation.
Immensely so. That kind of immersion, seeing the skill, the dedication. What's fascinating here is you really see how the environment, the history, the cultural mixing in Kashmar directly shaped this unique art form. A trip there would be like stepping into living history. Hashtag tag tag outro.
Wow. And just like that, we've kind of traveled from a modern shop in Canada, guided by that family's passion, all the way back through centuries of history, digging into the art. The culture packed into Kashmar rugs. We started with Babaks, that gateway, then plunged into Kashmar itself. Silk Road, Zoroaster's tree, Master Alipur changing things.
It's quite a story.
It really is. It's so clear these rugs are genuine works of art, embodying the best of Persian rug-making traditions. So what does this all mean, having gone through all this?
What's the takeaway?
Well, I think it means appreciating these rugs goes way beyond just liking how they look or their investment value. It's about understanding the stories woven in, the incredible skill passed down, the deep cultural heritage in every single knot.
Right. They're not just objects.
No, they're tangible history.
Right.
Each one a unique document from a timeless craft.
Precisely stated. And whether you're a serious collector just starting to get interested, or maybe you just appreciate fine art and craftsmanship, Kashmar rugs, they really do remain highly valued for their unique designs, craftsmanship, and historical significance.
Enduring appeal.
Absolutely. They're testaments to human creativity tradition. And, this raises an important question for all of us, really.
What's that?
As technology leaps forward, as global markets shift so fast, what happens to these traditional, incredibly labor-intensive crafts, like hand-knotted rug weaving?
Yeah, good question.
And how do we collectively make sure these unique artistic legacies, these skills, pass down for generations? How do we ensure they're preserved for future generations to appreciate, to learn from?
Especially hearing there are only about 100 weavers left in Kashmar.
Exactly. It highlights how fragile these profound traditions can actually be.
That is a powerful thought to end on. Really makes you think about what we value, what we risk losing. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the truly extraordinary world of Kashmar carpets. We hope it's maybe inspired you to look a bit closer at the stories embedded in the objects around you.
The hidden histories.
Yeah. What histories are waiting in your own homes, your communities, maybe even seek out the people keeping these kinds of traditions alive. Until next time.
Keep exploring.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep appreciating the artistry all around us.